Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security first before we discuss.
Yep, we're talking about senior citizens protesting AARP support of the president's health care reform. But how much political damage can senior citizens do to the Democrats, especially if they go it alone and cut Republicans out of the process? Jim Martin runs the 60+ Association. Jim, thanks for joining us. And we'll start off there framing it a little bit partisan, even though I refuse to recognize the parties because I think they are all in cahoots and pretending that they're against each other. But go ahead. Are you guys going to be able to be politically active and maybe even impact both Republicans and Democrats and start going independent?
Well, the truth of the matter is we're a nonpartisan group. We support Democrats and Republicans alike on Capitol Hill. We watch out for seniors' pocketbooks. We like to say we're for limited government, which is a less taxes approach. Clearly, Mr. Buffett, I heard you earlier, he's talking about cutting spending. That's nice to hear from a big spender like Mr. Buffett. But the fact is, AARP, and I call them that as a shorthand way of saying the AARP, there's an old saying, follow the money. If you follow the money, if I were on Wall Street now, I don't think I'd be investing in the AARP. It's a Fortune 500 conglomerate, but it's losing members rapidly. They're starting to flock to the 60+ Association. I got to tell you something. Our phone lines have been melting down. We've received, at last count, $35,000 unsolicited from AARP members who are coming to our cause. I know that's small change to the billion-dollar Goliath at AARP.
Jim, talk about this for a second, because I agree with you. Follow the money. What's in it for AARP? They sell health insurance. Is there some sort of back-end kickback that they're going to see? Because, frankly, they're losing members by the day. I think the last number was 60,000 members they're dropping. There must be something in it for them, and we're trying to figure out what is it.
Well, I like that. And by the way, 60+ and 60,000, there's a certain ring to that. But by the way, you mentioned that. Let me point this out to you. The AARP is one of the largest insurance companies in the world. As a matter of fact, they started by a lady, Ethel Andrus, a retired school teacher. Very well intentioned. She wanted to provide low insurance for retired school teachers. But somewhere along the way, Leonard Davis and a few others, this has all been well documented, came along. They got in the saddle, and suddenly they're selling high insurance premiums to seniors, making scads of money. And so I've got to tell you, the last time they left AARP like this in numbers was about 15 years ago. Senator
Jim, answer my question, sir. There must be in it for them. They risk losing those high premiums, those fat premiums, fat margin premiums, if a health care bill was to go through. There must be something. What is it?
Well, I think probably that's why they're between a rock and a hard place now. They were with the president, and then they backed away. I think they're worried about the physical well-being of their bottom line. We're worried about the physical well-being of seniors, but they have a physical bottom line that they're looking at AARP, the Association of Retired Persons.
Jim, your organization has the support of about 5 million seniors. I mean, this could have a significant impact. If you had the ear of the president right now, what's the #1 biggest problem that your organization, that these seniors have with the proposed health care plan on the table?
Well, quite frankly, they're saying, first, do no harm. Do not take a wrecking ball to a system that's worked well. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, the old saying goes. This system is favored by most people, and seniors, by the way, and let me make this very clear. I worked on Capitol Hill when Medicare passed. Doesn't matter if you're for it or against it. It has been law now for 44 years. Seniors have paid in. They've paid their dues. Now they're looking at massive $500 billion or more in cuts. By the way, in Washington, the Obama administration is saying these are savings. That's doublespeak in Washington for cuts. That's one of the biggest con jobs going in this town.
Jim Martin, 60+ Association President, thanks for joining us on Happy Hour. I've got to leave it there.
Thank you very
sir.
much for having us.
All right, so is it dangerous for the Democrats to switch up more than one